Hello.
Hello
Yeah.
and
Hi,
welcome.
Kyle.
How are you?
Hi, Brian. Yeah, I'm very good.
Well, the world knows who Kyle and Brian are, and let's not forget the other Brian, our awesome ASL interpreter. But who are you? What do you do? And what are we here to talk about today?
Oh, absolutely. So I'm Umar Chaudhary. I'm a senior manager at the EC2 Telco product management team, and I've got the coolest job in AWS. That is to make AWS the best place to run 5G, both public and private. And today I'm going to talk to you about a new program that we have just launched in partnership with the communication service providers, which we also call telecom operators, and that is called Integrated Private Wireless. And I'm going to talk to you about that program and why we're doing it, and what's so cool about that program. So if you look at like the industry and different industries like the automotive and different industrial segments, right? You'll see that like now they are using more and more advanced techniques like sensors and robotics and other mechanisms which where there is a lot of data usage. So essentially what happens is that their usage and their need for throughput and the network stability has really risen. What it means is that like now they actually need cellular private networks, and cellular private networks are more secure. They offer a much better quality of service as well. So, however, when they deploy these cellular private networks for, and essentially are telecom service providers and different companies, different ISVs as well, they deploy it for the enterprise customers. And there are three basic issues that come in there. Number one is that like there's a high degree of complexity because a lot of time these are very bespoke networks. They require huge efforts in designing even before the networks are put in. They also require huge system integration efforts. Then they require upfront investment. So it means that there is capex heavy. That is really a killer to the innovation. And then lastly, there are why do they actually need the private networks? It's because they need new applications, new use cases, whether on edge or in the cloud or wherever. However, they need new applications, and now they are consuming these private networks in one way, and then they are building those applications in another way. So there is no continuum there. So what we are doing with in partnership with our telco operators and telecom CSPs is that we are trying to solve for these challenges. Number one is we are solving for the complexity. How we are doing it? First of all, our teams of solution architects, they are working with the CSPs in pre-integrating, pre-validating the solutions. It means that like the complete solution, which is like a radio and a core and a device and a user application, but really pre-integrating those solutions so that the upfront or ongoing system integration effort is minimized. Then we are trying to we are making it easy to consume. So digitally discover, digitally consume, and then digitally manage as well. And then we have built a CSP portal on which like the customers can go in, they can actually contact, see the solutions first, they can contact the CSPs as well. And I'll go through the journey or a customer journey in a bit as well. And then what we aim to do as we go further is that we aim to make these solutions completely pay as you consume or pay as you go. That means that like AWS services are pay as you consume. However, the whole solution that's what they're working with them. And the last thing, if you think about it, is that like now you have your connectivity, and then in a VPC, in AWS Virtual Private Cloud, and you have access to all the rest of AWS services there, whether they're IoT, analytics, AIML, or whatnot. Now it really spurs the innovation so that our customers can build more and more use cases, and they can consume the use cases which are built by our ISV ecosystem as well. So other partners who are building those use cases on the edge and in the cloud as well.
And that actually
Well,
leads to a question we had in the chat. Sorry, Brian.
oh yeah, go ahead.
Someone asked which companies are currently offering cellular private networks. So I'm assuming the ones that we partner with, and I believe you have partners that we're working with now to do this, right?
Yeah. So as part of this program, we have launched it with 5 partners. So T-Mobile US, Orange, Telefonica Tech, uh, KDDI, uh, KDDI, and Deutsche Telekom. So these are the 5 partners that we have launched. We have launched with them. AWS has been doing private networks with CSPs and other ISPs as well for a long time, for over 3 years. However, these partners are very specific and special because they are really acting as the complete solution provider, as a managed solution provider. So they are taking that whole responsibility, an end-to-end responsibility of not only providing that solution to the customer, but also managing it as well.
Very cool.
Awesome.
I just want to double click on one thing that you said. You mentioned that there is a AWS portal in which you can actually use it, and basically, can you talk a little bit about that portal and how it works?
Yeah. So the way what we are doing is that we really are aiming to make it super simple for our enterprise customers to discover all of the solutions, right, which are private network solutions and edge applications as well. Very easy to discover at one place. So that's what CSP portal is. So when you go to CSP portal, and you can actually access it on our web page, we have just launched it, right? When you go there, you can see what are the connectivity solutions, and at the moment there are like these 5 partners which are offering it. But you also see that what are the other over the top applications which are available. At the moment we have put like 3 as the first iteration. And then when you go further into it, you contact the so let me take you through the journey of a customer experience, right? So let me share one slide with you. Can I share the slide now?
Yeah, go ahead and get it pulled up, and we'll go ahead and, with the power of sharing, because sharing's caring, we'll bring it up.
Yeah.
And we just want to make sure that we got it all full screen so we can take a look at it
Okay.
in all its glory. There's a little white box in the middle of your awesome font. If you could go ahead and just click that guy away. Wrong box.
Okay. Can you still see me? See my screen?
Yep. Go ahead and share your slide again.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So you think of it this way. Now, the first step is that CSP portal. So the customer explores the integrated private wireless solutions, connectivity solutions, and also the edge applications there. Then it basically there's a contact button. Okay, let's start your journey. You create an account, and then you basically start your journey, and then you provide the basic information like, okay, what is the size of the network that I want? What are the different locations that I want? What is the industry that I am in? And that information basically goes to the CSP, which basically generates a bill of material, right? And then CSP generates it, and then the customer can review it. That like now
Yep.
this
And just
private
to
solution.
clarify, so CSP being the communications service provider, right?
Absolutely,
Okay.
communication service provider, or our friends would know it as telecom operators as well, right?
Okay.
So now think of this one as the connectivity solution that can be hosted in a region, that can be hosted on a local zone, right? And it can be hosted on a customer premises on outpost, or in case of a disconnected completely environment need, it can be hosted on AWS Snow devices as well. So that BOM, a bill of material, is actually shared with the customer. Now the bill of material will have more components than AWS as well. It would have radio, and it would have other stuff as well, right? Now, then the customer accepts the proposal after discussing it with the customer, and then the CSP and our communication service provider sets up the invoicing, procures, gets all the solution ready, right? And also from AWS, and then ships it to the customer. Takes complete responsibility for it, integrates it as well at the last step, and then manages it for the customer as well. And as a what we are going to bring down the line is a completely automated order management capability as well. And that's something that we are currently working in. As Jeff was saying, that like we release something and then we incrementally develop on top of it. So the order management capability is something that we are will be bringing. The pre-validation of like this solution is very important part of it, because that really drastically reduces and we hope that like it will reduce the system integration effort. That means the time to market is significantly better. Okay, so that's what the journey that I wanted to share.
Now, how long would you say this journey takes, or would it vary depending on the size of the network, or the location or the industry? What does that journey look like as far as like time to production?
Yeah, so this journey, I think that depends on the use case as well. Like if it's a simple use case, let's say if you take an example that like it's already an application, it's pre-built, then it is a matter of like the whole process can be from inception to deployment could be in weeks, right? In few weeks it can be done as well. Of course, like there are certain steps because it still needs to be shipped. If it is an on-prem deployment, if it is a cloud-hosted deployment, then you are looking at days, hours and days, right? So that really varies a lot with the on specifically the use case as well.
So it sounds like we're taking something that otherwise would have a lot of logistics and overhead administratively, and allowing it to have a quicker time for value. Because when you say you order the the stuff, I'm picturing these large trailers with giant cell phone towers that look like trees, but it sounds like it's a little more simplified for the customer than what that is.
Yeah, the whole aim is that, and that is where we are working closely with our CSP partners to hide all this complexity from the end customer, because the end customer, which is the enterprise, they only care about like what is it going to solve for me, not that like it has all the cool stuff, which is good and cool. However, that complexity needs to be hidden. So that's the whole aim of, and that's what I said, the pre-integration and pre-validation efforts which are required.
Too cool. And so earlier we mentioned that a lot of you are actually in Barcelona this week. And what's going on in Barcelona, Spain?
Oh yeah. First of all, Barcelona is an awesome city. It's a city of Gaudi, right?
And
So like
why
if you
weren't we invited? I
that
fit in a
is a very
carry-on.
good point. Yeah. So each year in Barcelona, there is a conference which is the largest conference for telecom in the telecom world, which is called Mobile World Congress. So Mobile World Congress happens every time at the end of February every year. So there's like more than 100,000 people actually attend it. So we are in Barcelona. So we have actually launched. AWS has a great presence there. We have a whole area where we are showcasing a lot of like our demos and solutions, not only in the private wireless area but in other areas as well. For integrated private wireless specifically, we have two demos, one with Orange and one with Telefonica, that we are actually that are on demonstration there. A lot of customers and our CSP partners will visit there, and then that's what we are doing in MWC Barcelona.
That's too cool. And it also sounds like you all have a booth. I mean, you mentioned the demos, but if someone wanted to walk up and say howdy hi, and talk more about integrated private wireless, they can.
Absolutely. We have actually an area which is at the south entrance. So as you enter into the MWC, you go upstairs, and then the whole area is AWS branded. And then there is a specific section, the demo section, which is branded with IPW as well this year.
Really cool. Well, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't jealous that Brian and I are not in Barcelona right now.
I'll
Instead,
remember
I
to
have
invite you next
7
time.
inches of snow coming out. But thank you so much for your time and talking to us about integrated private wireless. It sounds like a really cool program that is available for our customers. And you're right, you mentioned enterprises, they don't want to necessarily have to worry about the logistics and the big equipment. They just want to be able to consume it, right? It sounds like
Mhm.
this is the way to go about doing that, especially as more devices become wireless. And if we think about how factories are even going from the old methodologies and sensors to IoT as well, I'm just excited to see what this does for our future.
Okay, absolutely. Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. Until next time.